It's Tuesday, August 29th. I'm Matt Harmon. Welcome to Ekeler's Edge, presented by Toyota, a part of the Yahoo Fantasy Football Show. It is an absolutely fantastic day to talk ball, and joining me to do just that, it's Los Angeles Chargers running back Austin Ekeler. Austin, congratulations on a huge weekend to you, buddy. You got engaged over the weekend. I saw that on the Instagram. Shout out to you. Shout out to Mel. Very happy for both of you two wonderful people.
Appreciate the congratulations, and yeah, it's next chapter for me now, man. I'm joining the committed married life.
It's a good life to be in, as one of the members of Committed Married Life. Listen, I will tell you though, I mean, luckily I know you've got yourself a fantastic woman. I got myself a fantastic woman that did most of the work, most of the heavy work when it comes to planning a wedding, because that is no fun. That, I mean, there's just. You can have fun during it, and we definitely had our fun, you know me, man, like sampling food, sampling the drinks at the venues. That's all great. Really enjoy that part. But for the most part, there's a lot of like minute details, and man, people, yeah, you plan a wedding, you find out things that people care about that you never knew you cared about, or this person feels about that person. You can't sit them at this. There's a lot of that going on, but yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll enjoy the whole process. It's
yeah.
Not
Well, thanks for giving me the heads up.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for. And I say all this like nice stuff to you here because I got to bring you down a little bit here, buddy.
What's that? Come on.
People let us know after the bold prediction segment with the Lions backfield, where we had a listener send in that their bold prediction was both David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs from the Lions backfield, that these two guys are going to be top 15 in half PPR this year. And you basically said, no way, never has that even happened. You would shave your eyebrows off if it's happened. Listen, and this is on me too, because this is my job and I forgot that this has happened before. Austin, I hate to tell you, but in the last 10 years alone, there has been three times two running backs from the same team have scored inside the top 15 in half PPR leagues. The most recent one is 2020, Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Browns and Kareem Hunt from the Cleveland Browns. Chubb was 8, Kareem Hunt was 10. Now this one, Nick Chubb did only play 12 games, so that obviously I think Kareem Hunt got boosted a little bit during that. In 2017, the Saints' Mark Ingram was 6th, and Alvin Kamara was 3rd. I'm going to come back to this one because I think this example actually... this one might need to make you the most nervous. In 2013, ironically, the Lions had 2 running backs, Reggie Bush, 10, Joique Bell was 15. Yo, shout out to Joique Bell, by the way. What a throwback name. That's a good one. Reggie only played 14 games that year, so again, injuries help. But this 2017 example, Austin, I was looking back at the Pro Football Reference page for this team. One, Dan Campbell, who's the current Lions head coach, was the assistant head coach on this team. So there's a coaching staff continuity. And if you just look at the players on this roster, like Alvin Kamara catches 81 balls. I think Jahmyr Gibbs was a guy that I don't know if this comparison holds up, but people compared him to Alvin Kamara. Mark Ingram was on this team and he ran for 12 touchdowns. David Montgomery, could he run for double-digit touchdowns? They really only had one receiver of note, and it was Michael Thomas, who caught 104 passes on 149 targets. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown could be that type of guy in this offense. So I don't know, buddy. Well, this is kind of similar.
Man, look, I'm over here. One of our producers dropped the link of an edit of me with no eyebrows, and let's just say I really, really hope it doesn't happen. Have you seen this picture? Oh my God!
I'm looking at it too. It's
wow.
It's a little frightening.
Okay, so I didn't know it was that common. Look, I didn't know it was that common. It's definitely rare, obviously 3 times in 10 years. But I mean, 30% chance that could happen, in the season. And then it is to that specific team potentially. But, I'm still saying no way.
If you have to shave your eyebrows off, how fast are they going to, when is your wedding planned for? Hopefully it's not, like right after the
That's a great point. I think Mel would probably postpone the wedding if I did that. So now, wow. Okay. Now, I'm in a predicament now. So, like I said, I'm not rooting against them. I just don't think it's very likely. So, I'm hoping one of those guys just pops off and becomes the main guy. And then it's like, nope, it's because that's the main person. And the other guy is kind of like, right, getting some backup reps in there. But, Ooh, okay, we'll see. Hey, time will tell. Time will tell.
Well, yeah, like I said, that 2017 Saints team is making me a little nervous for you. I mean, to be fair, I kind of want this to happen from like a hilarious content perspective. I don't want it messing with your wedding. That would not be ideal. Hopefully Mel doesn't listen to the show. But
Right.
overall, I mean, come on. That 2017 Saints team makes me a little nervous for you, man. But yeah, had to get that in because I know a bunch of people sent it into the mailbag that they let us know. And yeah, I honestly, it's on me for dropping the ball live, forgetting about the 2017 Saints and Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. Shout out to those guys. All right, next thing up here, we got to talk about Austin. Again, special shout out here to social media director here at Yahoo Sports, Catherine, who pitched the idea for a fantasy league with Austin, myself, and you and I decided, Austin, that instead of inviting, anyone, we got to like make this specific big wigs of the fantasy industry. People that if you're listening to this podcast, there's no doubt you've heard of some of the heavy hitters from a variety of shows across the league. I'll go through a few of them right now. Obviously, Austin's got a team. I've got a team. Producer Colin has a team. Chris Harris of the Harris Football Show has a team. Ray Garvin of Destination Devy on YouTube, he's got a team. John Daigle from 4 for 4, he's in here. Lindsay Rhodes, who hosts a bunch of fantasy shows on SiriusXM, she's in here. Annie Agar from Bally Sports is in here. Faraz Siddiqui of Upper Hand Fantasy is in this. JJ Zacharyson, late round quarterback, the late round podcast, he's in here. Adam Rank from NFL Network is in this league. Nick Ercolano from Big Dogs Gonna Eat over on YouTube, he's in here. Lawrence Jackson from NBC Sports and Roto World is in here. Josh Norris from Underdog. And then, yeah, again, Austin Ekeler and myself. This is a 14-team league. And it was a fun draft, man. It was a really fun one.
Yeah, we're about to see who is who knows what, who can manage their team and get the ultimate bragging rights, right, of the ultimate fantasy analysis, right, of analysts. And so it's like, okay, let's put it to the test. Let's start it up. And, I think I could see this, coming down the road and being a bigger event. I think this would be great. I think we're on the verge of something. And so I'm super excited to dive into my team and kind of your team, see how it played out. But definitely looking forward to continue to keep the bragging rights going throughout the season of how my team's kicking everyone's butt.
Well, we'll see, man. I think your team looks fine. But I got to say, I think I really nailed it. I think I really nailed my first pick, especially Austin. Did you have any reaction to the player I took at 4th overall?
Who did you take? Oh, wow. So pretty much you got a free win. What's this guy's name? Austin Ekeler. Wow. What a great pick. What a great pick. The former RB1, RB2 before then. It was funny because I was trying to get into the dang draft. I'm like, Yahoo, what the heck? I'm trying to get my link. It's like giving me an error. And I call Matt and I'm like, Matt, I'm trying to get in. Help me out. And he's like, all right, hey, go here, whatever. Click on this, try it again, refresh it. So I do that. I finally get in. He's like, oh, and by the way, I just took you 4th overall. And I'm like, what? Damn it. The only thing I wanted to get in this draft was myself. And so, I ended up getting my quarterback. So, that's like an indirect, result of myself. But I was the last pick. Unfortunate with the last pick, but I still think my team came through. I'm excited for it. But yeah, shout out to you getting the, probably the best player in the running back position this year. So look, I'll be doing everything I can this year to get you as many points as possible. Well, just know that, Matt, I got your back, man. And not only you, but everyone else that has me on their team. It is my sole goal to be the most efficient player possible in the red zone, in the field, catching balls, running the ball, continue to stay healthy. All of it matters because guess what? We got championships to go win, not only in the fantasy, but Super Bowl as well. And then for, my team on top of that. So a lot to be playing for. And I could not be more proud to be playing for your fantasy football team, Matt. So let's get it, coach. Don't let us down, coach. Let's get it done.
Yeah. I'm really coaching this thing up. No, hey, look, I feel better about my team now after that little motivational speech there. It's funny to pull back the curtain. Like we drafted this team at 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday night. I literally got home from like a weekend trip away with my wife at like 4:50 p.m. Eastern. So like 10 minutes to spare. The whole time I know I was texting you back and forth. That was actually her in the passenger seat. Like I was like, hey, send Austin this message, answer Colin. Because there's just, you people out there know this. Like if you've commissioned a fantasy football league before, there's a lot of moving parts. You're trying to get people on the same page. There's a lot going on. So I'm like having to give her directions to this. And then I was like, oh, by the way, can you go in there and like see what pick I have? She says, oh, you have the 4th pick. And I was like, I think if Austin's there at the 4th pick, I'm just going to take him just for the content. Like, because I think we're going to be talking about this all year, man. Like, I can't wait for us to play each other. Not sure when we do on the schedule. That's going to be great. You're just going to be putting up points for me against you. This is like the ideal scenario for the show.
Yeah, it's happened a few times in a few of my leagues where I end up beating myself. It's a win-lose situation. Literally, where it's like, obviously I'm not going to go out there and tank because I'm playing myself in fantasy. It's a win because I am a, efficient player and pretty consistent. And so I'm probably going to put up points against myself. So look, if you got me on your team, much respect for you picking me up. And I do appreciate that. So, I'll take the L. That's pretty much an automatic L that week for me. Cause I don't know, it was what was the statistic? It was like 12% of teams that had me on the team won their championship last year. Something crazy like that. So we're going to continue to try to make that even go higher. But yeah, man, it's going to be great. I can't wait till we play.
Yeah, we play in week 6. Producer Colin just let us know in the chat. Hey, buddy, you need to dial in and bring it. Okay, I'm gonna be like those jackasses in your DMs. Like, hey man, I need 35 points from you this week to get me the win. We're gonna be on the show heading into week 6. Like, hey, Austin, buddy, you need to dial in and you need to I need you, man. I need you this week.
That gets me every time, man. If you go look at my DMs, man, it's so many people. Hey, man, I need you to come out big this week. Hey, man, don't let me down. Hey, man, I drafted you. It's like, you knuckleheads. I'm going out there trying everything I possibly can to be the best player that I can be, score as many touchdowns as possible. I'm like, I know you need me to come through. I need me to come through as well. So just know I am. If you want to hit me a DM, give me some moral support here. Not, hey, I need this. Don't give me your damn needs. We all need stuff. Back me up here. Be like, yeah, man, you got this week. I can't wait to see you go out there and dominate. That's how you DM your fantasy team. We will appreciate it all. And to those that do that, appreciate you guys. And all the toxic guys out there, you guys, you guys got to cut that out because that definitely ain't helping anybody. But yeah, no, it's great. I love it. People are so passionate about fantasy. And that's why, I have this show because let's give a little bit piece back. So I always do a shout out. And also, guess what? I just remembered this also makes you eligible for the Austin Ekeler signed jersey giveaways because you have me on your team. Let's go.
I think that's a little bit insider trading ish, right? I don't know. That feels a little like a conflict of interest.
You picked me up is because you wanted to get to the giveaways. I'm on to you. I'm on to you.
That was it. I mean, this has been a long game for me. I got hired at Yahoo just to try to figure all this stuff out just so I could get into the Austin Ekeler signed giveaways. That's really what this has all been for.
Mastermind.
Yeah. There it is. That's me. Really thinking 2 moves ahead here with this whole thing. But yeah, no. So I took Austin 4th overall. Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase were the first 3 picks by Chris Harris, Ray Garvin, and John Daigle specifically. Those first 3 picks. Yeah. So I look, even just from I'm taking Austin because we're in this league together. I think at that point, Austin 4th overall player in a half PPR format like this, it's a good pick no matter what. I mean, come on. I feel great about it. Feel good about it. Austin, this is a 14-team league, so you had 0% chance of getting yourself at the 14th and 15th overall pick on the turn there. But I will say, your 2 picks there did make some noise to the point that Lindsey Rhodes even said, is this really Austin drafting this team right now? Because you took 2 Raiders, Devontae Adams at 14 overall and your buddy Josh Jacobs, 15th overall there. So explain what went into your thought process there.
Yeah, I saw. First of all, I'm 14th, so I'm like, crap. Okay, let's see who's left. And it's funny. It was like round 9. I'm like, gosh, I don't even know these guys. I'm having to look up names and stuff. So if you have a 14 league, you know what I'm talking about. 14 team league. And so I'm like, you know what? The entire Raiders offense is still there, which runs through Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. And Devontae was my first overall pick. Obviously, it was a snake draft. And so then I got Josh right after it, even though there was a little, uneasiness of him, coming back or whatever. But was pretty confident that he wasn't going to sit out a year. And then with Devontae, I mean, this man has just not ever, I feel like, disappointed with his play, and I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. And then Josh Jacobs, I think, is going to be running even more angry than he was last year when he was trying to get a contract, because now he's going to be doing the same thing again. And so it's just like, Josh seems like a pretty solid choice. Who's going to be getting the ball? They're going to be, continuing to utilize him in a big way. And Devontae Adams always shows up. So those are my first two picks. And I know Devontae is going to be the go-to guy over there. And we're talking PPR. He's going to catch a lot of balls. And then obviously he's pretty dynamic when he gets the ball in his hands. The catches this man makes are pretty incredible. So those are my first two picks right there.
And I think there's good advice there, by the way, that, Austin plays for the Chargers and he's taken 2 Raiders in division rivalry, all that stuff. Well, this is good advice for you all out there, that especially if it's like one of your first few times playing fantasy, don't be the guy that just like, okay, I will never forget back in like 2011 or something like that. Someone's like got a 3rd overall pick in my fantasy draft. I know they're a big Eagles fan, and they take like Deshaun Jackson at the 3rd overall pick, like 5 rounds before he's supposed to go. Yeah. Don't be, I'm sorry for the person I'm calling out there. They definitely don't listen to the show. It doesn't matter. I don't actually even feel bad about it. It is what it is. Don't be the person who just takes like your favorite team's players way ahead. Like, you got to divorce the emotion out of it. And I mean, look, Austin's emotion, he's a place for the Chargers. The Raiders are division rivals, but those were 2 good picks. So you make the picks.
And look, even though I want my defense to go out there and shut these guys down when we play them, like, they're good players, and good players are going to show up. That's what good players do. That's why they are considered good players. And, as much as my defense is going to go out there and try to shut them down, good players make plays. And that's why the NFL is so interesting to watch, is because you have so many teams that have so many good players. And so a crazy and awesome stuff happens all the time. So it makes this league so great, and, I'm out there contributing to that too. Every single week, a defense is trying to shut me down. And so it's, how can I continue to find ways to be efficient and move the ball forward and get into the end zone. And that's what makes you stand out if you can do that. And so these players have definitely done that over time. And you definitely have to divorce your emotions there. Because if you do keep the emotions in the game, it's probably not going to work out for you, because you're going to be like, I know there's teams that like people send me like pictures of the lineup. They'll be Charger fan. They'll have Justin, Keenan, me, Mike. It's like the entire offense. So it's just like, there's other players out there that make a difference. But look, if you're a fan of a team, you want to pick up your guys, which is what I did too. I'm not going to say don't do it, but just know you might, it might be detrimental in the long term.
Yeah, there's some risk there. You did make maybe a pick a little closer to the heart there in the 3rd round when you take Justin Herbert. In round 4, you took Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is like my guy. Austin has a reception perception subscription. He's like, this website looks pretty good. Brandon Ayuk is here against man coverage and press coverage. Take Brandon Ayuk. That's a great one. Right. You took 2 Eagles back to back. Round 5, you took DeAndre Swift. Round 6, Dallas Goedert. Round 7, you go A.J. Dillon. Round 8, 99th overall pick, pal. You take the first kicker off the board, Justin Tucker. Real sleeper there. Round 9, Juju Smith-Schuster. I like that value. Alan Lazard, Dallas Cowboys defense, Michael Gallup. That's a nice little steal there. McCole Hardman, Devin Singletary, and another Raider, actually. With your last pick, you took Michael Mayer, the rookie tight end. So
I didn't know who that was. I just picked somebody. I was like, I should probably get another tight end here. This guy looks cool.
You're like, let me get another Raider. I don't have enough Raiders here, so let me just get my 3rd one. Listen, I'll tell you what. I don't know how. I've got my problems with the Yahoo grades. Okay, I work for Yahoo. I say this. I used to joke that when I was back working at NFL Network, Dan Hansis came and said he hosts the Around the NFL podcast. He's a good friend. He goes, these draft grades. What's the deal with the draft grades? Like, I write all those personally. Like, jokingly, I think I got him to believe me for probably 30 seconds. But on a serious note, these draft grades, I don't know. They give Austin an A- for this team. I don't know about A- for this team.
That's a good draft right there. That's a good draft. Look, I thought it was solid. Team shows up. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of guys that have proven themselves. So, I mean, hey, it's a solid team. A-. What was your grade there, Matt?
Well, okay. So
my
let's
talk
grade.
about your grade.
I was given a C- by the draft grade. Apparently they didn't like taking Austin Ekeler 4th overall. No, this is literally, I'm reading the recap.
That's not what brought you draft.
In the grand symphony of fantasy drafts, Matt Harmon's team managed to hit all the right notes of average, which is a draft grade of C- and a projected finish of 6th. Okay. It's clear that Harmon's team is aiming for the sweet spot of mediocrity. This is outrageous. What is that for a draft? These draft grades, enough already with the draft grades. That's it. My team is good.
They don't hold back, man. They'll let you know. You're out here for mediocrity. That's not going to stand, So, I think you need to put a little bit more time in, a couple more, practice drafts next year, and, maybe you'll do better then.
A couple more practice drafts. Okay, so here's my team for those that are curious. Again, Austin 4th overall. I took Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round, 14-teamer. I don't want to be messing around with late round quarterback and streaming quarterback. I just want a locked in guy there. Was pretty aggressive, just didn't like the other players on the board. I took Calvin Ridley in the 3rd round. I know people think Calvin Ridley is risky, but he was the highest guy left on my board, and I love him. Tyler Lockett in round 4, Alexander Madison, Marquise Brown, Pat Freiermuth, Nico Collins, Samaje Perine, Jonathan Mingo, Roshan Johnson, Luke Musgrave, Van Jefferson. And then I, like a normal person, took my kicker in the 2nd to last round. And then I took one sleeper instead of taking it. That's where they get you. Yahoo likes if you take the early kicker and likes if you take a big name defense. That gets you a good draft grade. But I'm not trying to win the draft, Austin. I'm trying to win the league.
Okay. Hey, that's fair enough. That's fair. I can respect that. I like that mindset. Hey,
honestly, this team actually isn't very good. I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure my team is very good, to be honest with you. But it is a 14-teamer, so
we'll see how those waivers treat you. These weeks, kind of play on. We'll see what kind of manager Matt is. See all the trade moves. I might be trying to trade for myself, so you might have some stuff coming your way. Who knows?
I'll be driving a hard bargain in that scenario if Austin Ekeler wants to trade for Austin Ekeler. Last thing here on the league, again. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of heavy hitters here. I can't wait to play this thing out, and we'll be talking about it a ton throughout the year. And maybe we'll even get some of these folks on to the show. You can do a little trash talking there in person, Austin. We got to talk about team names here.
Oh yes,
Do I have to? Number one, I just thought about this. Do I have to change the team of my name, my team name to my back after the last episode? I'm not doing that. But I know you wanted to give a call out. You need some help.
Yes, I need help. I was actually looking at a bunch of different words that started with EX, just because it's X, and that's where you kind of play on, like, all the like excellence, right? Extension, all these different X words. And I was like, what kind of team name could I come up with? So wanted to reach out to the community because I know this is a show that we try to include all of you guys in different ways. And so would love some input on a name. It doesn't have to include an X play on something on my last name, but just want something creative. Give me some suggestions. I'm open to all and would love to choose one of y'all's names to be my team name. Because right now I think it's like the outstanding Austin's outstanding team. Yahoo just gives you astonishing default, is what they used. Just gives you a temporary. So send in some names. Where can they send names to?
You can send it to the mailbag, askaustin@yahoosports.com. That'd be a great one. Or you can tweet it at me and Austin at Matt Harmon _BYB and at Austin Ekeler on Twitter. And we'll keep a log of them here on the show.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe we can have the social team maybe tweet out a screenshot of your team and come with a name there too. So
perfect.
We'll get
That'd
some
be great
ways.
too.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, we'll get some responses here for
let's
you.
Get that done.
I think maybe something suggesting like second place finish, something like that. I think that'd be good.
Maybe Matt's carry. How about that? Matt Harmon's carry. That's the team, because that was bad. That was a bad one. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll workshop that.
I was trying to clap back. My trash talking needs work.
Yeah, I think you're probably better at it on the field than I am. So there it is. All right. Well, that's the Ekeler's Edge Invitational, our fantasy league here. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm glad it's a 14-teamer, man. That makes it a little challenging. So it's going to be great stuff. All right, Austin. Since we're teaming up with Toyota Racing for the month of August, we wanted to go under the hood of training camp and dive into what it takes to get ready for the NFL season. This is the big week in the NFL. It is the week that the 53-man rosters come together. While it's a joyous time for some, it can be a very stressful time for so many players across the league. So, Austin, what is it like this week for NFL players?
Yeah, man. This week is it's different. It's really different. And why I say that is because it depends on really your situation. I want to start out with kind of my story of my rookie year. Just finishing the last preseason game, had a pretty good training camp, and then also had a pretty good last preseason game. But for me, I never moved up the depth chart on anything. I was sixth string on at the running back position, and then I was also like third string on special teams. And so there's so much uncertainty because, me, I'm thinking like, okay, like I got to be third string to, make the team. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, this is probably it. I don't know. I think I play well. Maybe I can get on another team. Really have no idea. There's no indication of, yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're not. Especially as an undrafted player, they have no capital invested in me. So I'm not a draft player where they're like, okay, well, we have, money invested in this guy. We're going to keep him around. Even if maybe you didn't have the best camp, you can kind of get away with a little bit there. So for me, it's like, I come into the building and get a workout, and there's guys getting picked off all over the place. We call them the Reapers, which is like the scouts that are coming down, finding people, either getting you from the hotel room, coming, hey, you need to come with me, bring your iPad, or picking you out of the weight room. And so it's honestly kind of like eerie. It's like an eerie feel in the building because it's just like, it's happening, and it doesn't feel good for anybody because, some of these guys, it's the last time ever strapping it up and playing football again. And they've been putting in so much work to try and make this team. And so in my instance, there was a time cutoff. I think it was like 12 o'clock or something like that, maybe like 2 o'clock in the day was when the final cuts had to be made. And I remember I had gotten my workout in. I didn't get picked out of the workout to go upstairs and talk to Tom and get cut or anything like that, or practice squad. And so I go back home to the hotel, and then it was like 12:30 or so, like an hour and a half before, or maybe like an hour and a half before the cutoff, I get a call. And it's our player director, and he's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Art?" And he's like, "Hey man, if you haven't gotten a call by now, you probably made the team." And I was just like, it was just like this huge relief, like, oh my God. And he's like, "Yeah, start looking for an apartment." And so I had like 2 days to get an apartment. So I immediately get off the phone with him. I'm calling my mom. I'm calling my agent. I'm crying. They're crying because it's like, "Mom, like I made it, like I made the team." It was such a long shot for me to make it. And so, that was a story with a happy ending. But, for some of these guys, it's not necessarily that way. It's the opposite, where you get the call, you have to come in, and then you have to have the conversation about getting cut. So there's a lot of different emotions that are going on, and it's a lot that goes into it. And then if you're in my position now, where I'm in my second contract, I've been around, I've been playing in preseason. Now it feels like we finally get a start. We've been building up and practicing, watching the young guys go out there, trying to mentor them, give them the best opportunity to make this team. And now the final preseason over, now it's go time. So now I actually get to go strap on the pads and go play, and it's for real now. And so, the feeling in the locker room there is, for our veterans, is like, hey, it's time to go. Like, this is real, right? Congratulations, you finished another training camp, but now it's time to go actually make a name for ourselves and continue to push and try to, make something better of our situation. And so there's a lot of different emotions there. We have people getting traded. I saw we traded one of our kickers today. And so there's people moving around. There's people getting cut. There's people getting signed. And it's like I said, it's weary. It's weary in the locker room. But after the dust settles, this is who we got for the rest of the season going forward. And, it's all up from there, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And this is a show where we like to shine a little bit on that human side of it, right? Because this is, as you mentioned, I can't imagine being in that position where you've played football your entire, like everybody that plays football, you have the end of the journey at some point. Like at some point it ends for all of us, right? But for guys that make the NFL, and then this might be the last time, like that last time, that's got to be heavy in those situations, right?
Yeah, because think of these guys. You've been playing since you can remember, most of them, since flag football. Pop Warner, then you go into middle school, then you go into high school, then you get recruited from high school into college, and there's a big community. And so you're following this line, and there's a big community and all this support in your high school career, your college career. Now you're going to the NFL, you have all the support around the NFL, and then boom, you get the door shut on your face. It's like, nope, you're not good enough, or it's not the right timing. And so it kind of is it's a wake up call. And it's a reality check. Like, oh, okay, this is a real thing. Like, I was not guaranteed this. It's kind of like the end of the line. Like in college, you can make it to college and then still be there for 4 years and maybe not even play. But in the NFL, that's not how it works. You either produce or you get cut. And so there's a lot harsh reality that I think, we all get to learn eventually in the NFL once that day comes for you, when your career is over. Hopefully you just try to, do your best that you can, and so that you have no regrets. And that's what I had. After my last preseason game, I got asked, like, how do you feel like you did? I was like, I don't know how I did, but that was everything you could have got out of Austin Ekeler. That was everything. There was nothing less that I could have given you. And so if that was good enough, I'll be on a team. If not, I'll go take this energy and I'll go do something else. And that was my mindset. And when you have that mindset and you approach it like that, guess what? There's no room for regret. So it was like, that was everything. Either I'm built for this or I'm not. And now going into year 7, right, continue to progress and build. My year 1 looked a lot different than, my last year just did. So it's a progression. Doesn't mean you're done. If you get cut, it just means maybe it's not the right timing, or maybe it does mean you're done. But yeah, it's a crazy world, and it's like I said, a quick flash of reality, because that's how the world is. You have an opportunity, you try to pursue it, and if you're not good enough, guess what? You're not going to get that opportunity, and that it really, really ramps up at the NFL level, because it is the top of the top as far as competition.
Yeah, and I guess kind of the silver lining in all this that we're talking about, right? Where, like, this isn't the exact same example, but like Trey Lance just got traded from an area where he was not going to get an opportunity in San Francisco, despite all that they gave up to him to, he's getting maybe a fresh start in Dallas. I mean, he's not going to start for them. They have an established starter, but it's just where one door closes, sometimes another door can open. And that can be the case on cut down day, right? Obviously that wasn't your story, but new situations and new fits, certainly I would think could be better for some players in the long term.
Yeah, there's a few different things that play into that. One thing that really people don't really understand on the outside of our locker rooms is the politics within the locker rooms and the coaching staff, and like who trusts who. Trust is a huge thing in the NFL world. If you look at coaching staffs alone, and if you have a new head coach, guess who they're bringing? All of their guys that they trust are coming with them. And it's the same thing, and it plays itself out within the players too. If you have a guy who knows, hey, I can trust Austin on the field, he does the right things, he's in the right spot, he makes the right plays, guess what? I'm probably going to get more playing time than a guy that maybe even has a little bit more talent, but they're not trustworthy. They can't protect the quarterback. I'm worried about them fumbling, things like that. Like if you put any hint of distrust into coaching and our coaches, it's not good for you. And so sometimes you need to reset, like, okay, for whatever reason, there wasn't a good fit here. Let me go over here. And maybe if you even get that opportunity, a lot of guys don't. You just get cut and never picked it back up, because it's like, well, why did they want him? But if you do get another opportunity, it's another time to kind of reset your reputation, to build a new relationship with coaches, and then potentially get a new opportunity to show what you can do on a different team. So yeah, there definitely could be some benefit. That's just one benefit that can come from it, but that's one that maybe isn't as obvious.
No, I mean, listen, makes a ton of sense. And we love that perspective on the show, and we love being able to kind of think of it from that. But yeah, the locker room politics, or just the organizational politics, it's present in the NFL, just like it's present at your job. That is for sure. All right, that was great. Thanks for going under the hood with us, Austin. And thanks again to our friends at Toyota Racing. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got to dive into the mailbag. We had some excellent submissions this week right after this. All right, welcome back. Ekeler's Edge, it's all about community, and no segment better demonstrates that than the Ask Austin mailbag. It's cram week here on the podcast, Austin, so we are cramming in a little bit of different advice here. We asked for the craziest league traditions from the listeners. Maybe other folks listening to this can get inspired to create some new fun traditions in their league. Our first submission came in from Justin. Their league has been going on for 9 years strong. They have some traditions for the punishments bracket. If you lose the losers bracket, you get to choose one of the 3 following punishments, Austin. And we get to participate in this here too. Number 1, you get a tattoo that says fantasy loser and the year. Tattoos are forever, in case you didn't know. The second one, you wear a dress in the center of your city while being shamed. Number 3, you quit the league. So far, everybody has taken option 1 in their league. So Justin wants to know, if we lost the league in this scenario, which punishment of those 3 would you pick? You either, again, get the tattoo, you have to go to the town square wearing a dress and being shamed. Number 3, you just quit the league. I'll say this, Austin. For me, I'm not doing number 2, and honestly, it has nothing to do with the dress. I can't immediately. I mean, it has nothing to do with the dress. It's more so, I don't want to be out in the middle of the town square with people paying attention to me, even if it was a positive thing. So you forget that one. I'll take the tattoo, bro.
These guys are not playing around. You do not. You do not want to get last. Oh my God, that is wow. I mean, you can't quit the league, right? Like no. You quit the league, that's like quit the friendship. I feel like this is like that time of the year where it's like, all right, it's time to compete, baby. I think I'm going with the tattoo as well. Do you get to pick your location? I hope. I hope you get to pick the location, because that might. I believe so. Okay. Says Colin. Okay, cool. So you get to pick. Yeah, I'll take the tattoo. The shame. I don't want to have that memory in my life that it's like, oh, remember that time at town square, I was in a dress and people. That just seems like something that I don't want to have in my memories of myself in my life. So I will take the tattoo. Wow, that's intense though. That's what I'm talking about. That's some tradition right there. Yeah. That just gets you excited not to be last and to just see who gets last. I don't care who wins. I just want to see who has to make the decision. Nice.
Yeah. So far, everyone has taken option 1. I'm also taking option 1. Good note by you, though. Do you get to pick the location of the tattoo? Because I've got. I don't know if you have any tattoos. I've got one piece on my arms. I'm glad to put something on the arm, but I'm not doing like.
Right.
No, we're not doing
right
a
above
lot
the
of
eyebrow.
Yeah. Always comes back to the eyebrows with you. So
oh yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Coincidence.
Next, we've got Brandon M. Sends, this is the 19th year of their league. Pretty impressive. Yes. They have a huge live draft party where they have someone sing the national anthem. I mean, that is some patriotic, dedication right there. We're opening the fantasy football draft with the national anthem. They sent in a video of the most recent one from 2021. It looks like, so that's great. Maybe we can play that in the pod. I don't know. The main thing here, we also have a playlist where everyone chooses their walk-up song before their first round pick. Mine this year, Brandon says, with his co-manager, was the Jeffersons TV show theme song, because they traded up to number 1 overall to take Justin Jefferson. So, moving on up, that was the theme song from the Jeffersons. That's a pretty good one. If you had to be in this league, Austin, what would your walk-up song be?
Wow, that's epic. 19 years. That is incredible. Shout out to them for keeping that going. My walk-up song would probably be 10,000 Fist by Disturbed.
Damn,
like 10,000 fists in the air. That one. That's definitely just yeah. Like a straight just rager. Like that's the feeling when you see me playing electric guitar. That's how I'm imagining. Like that's the energy in the stadium. That's how I imagine like we're rocking out there. And so definitely a little bit of Disturbed. Maybe some Metallica, Enter Sandman. Like that's a classic.
That's classic.
Yeah, so man, I would definitely have some heavy metal going.
All right, well, hey, love to hear that. Last
what
one.
What about you, Matt? Whoa! What about you? What are you rocking? To the stage comes Matt Harmon.
I'm not an intense guy. I'm not. Listen, I'm not an. What are you? Don't boo me. It's my choice. It's my walk-up music. I'll probably do like Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett just to set the tone.
Margaritaville.
It's my karaoke song. I'm basically saying like, I'm not taking this very seriously. That's gonna lead people to underestimate me. With you and all this intensity, they know that they've got to really be focused in on you. I'm trying to come in a little more subtle under the radar and sneak up on people.
That now it makes sense. That explains your C- draft. Grade.
God's sakes. I don't know what's more irritating, you or the draft grades. Not already with the draft grades.
Man, I had to ask.
The best is when people screenshot the draft grades and send them to me. Like, yeah, what do you want me to do about it? Just talk to Chat GPT or whoever is doing this whole thing. I mean, my God, the draft grades.
I'm just messing. I'm just playing.
All right, last one here. We got sent into the email line. Comes in from Raymond. Says, hey guys, love the show. I just drafted Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Drake London, Jahan Dotson, and Nico Collins in my Superflex home league because Matt's hard work and dedication to the wide receiver position has paid off for me year after year. Allen Robinson and Sterling Shepard aside. I mean, come on. Allen Robinson's had a lot of good years. Let's not talk about last year, but he's had a lot of good years. Okay, but thank you, Raymond. I appreciate it. Their 10-team league adds an extra $10 per person to the buy-in, and the winner gets to pick a charity to donate that $100 to every year. Raymond says, best of luck this season, Austin. It sucks you have to compete against yourself, thanks to Matt. So he obviously saw the draft recap out there. So Jeff, he signed it off as Jeff. So not Raymond, Jeff. Anyways, Jeff, thank you. Appreciate it. That's a pretty good tradition there, just to give a little something back.
Yeah. No, I think that's what fantasy's great for too, is it brings awareness to new players and things like that, where it's like there's people that are fans of me out there because of fantasy football. And then at the end of the year, they're like, hey man, like, thanks for doing so great to me. I want to donate to your charity. And so, yeah, the give back portion of fantasy football is definitely strong. I feel it every single year. We raise a lot of money from fantasy football. And it's a great opportunity to bring people together. You know, you get to be cheering on new people on new teams, even though you're not a fan of their team all the time. And so, yeah, there's so many different layers of good that goes with this sport. What do we call it? A sport? With this game? A game about a game. It's a game about a game. With this game about a game. And so, yeah, shout out to them. That's a great tradition. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, a couple rapid fire social ones here before we close out. One, my buddy, Dr. Kevin Murray, sent in a lot of great pictures on this one. Live draft, of course, is his favorite tradition. They have championship banners, award presentations, walk-up music, great people. They have confetti canyons. They have a draft podium. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that Kevin sent in. I love the idea of the award presentations. My mom actually did her first fantasy football league last year, and they had a whole award ceremony at the end of the year, like, most likely they're like kind of like yearbook senior superlatives, right? So that's a good fun tradition people can have.
Yeah, we were talking about wedding planning at the very beginning of this. I feel like that they got like an every year, wedding plan that they have to go through. They got to have the confetti, they got to get the food, we got to get the walk up music, they got to get the podium and all that set up. So these people people are passionate about this stuff. And man, yeah, I don't have any transitions that strong. Do you have any punishments or anything like that you've done, or things that are consistent in any of the leagues you've been in? Do you have a league you've been in for a while?
You act like I've ever had to go through the punishment. No, I never come in last.
There you go.
Consistently C minus.
Till this year. I am rooting for Matt to come in last.
Okay, well, we haven't established a punishment for our league, but
we have not. The only thing you can win from our league is bragging rights, but there definitely can be a punishment. So we need to establish that with the rest of the crew before we get too deep into the league for sure. For sure.
Probably just delete your show. Your show gets canceled if you lose.
Oh, your show gets or you have to have a banner in the back that, hey, loser of Ekeler's Edge, something like that in the background. No, I don't know. We can come up with something. I think that's great.
Last one here we'll do before we get out of here. At K-Hoop Fantasy says, for us, it's getting a famous, quote, adult entertainer through Cameo to draw their draft spots the day of. Sorry. I find it way more entertaining and difficult to learn your spot on the day of, so no one can mock draft beforehand. Also makes for hilarious mistakes during the draft. I have heard of people like paying for like athletes on Cameo, or even, I don't know why you would ever, let me pay a fantasy analyst to draft our draft spot, whatever. But I've heard of people doing that on Cameo. I've not heard of adult entertainers though. That's something.
Yeah. People have their own like little things they like to do. And look, as long as it works for them and as long as they have a good time, then hey, don't let anyone tell you shouldn't do it. Because that's what fantasy's for. It's for you to have a good time with some people, come together and watch some football and hopefully cheer on Austin Ekeler because you got me on their team. We're going to win another championship. So
That's right. Just like me.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that. It is C+, C-. I'm gonna have to carry those boys over there. It's crazy, but we'll get it done.
Yeah, a bunch of no names like Jalen Hurts just participated in the Super Bowl last year. Right. But yeah, Austin will carry all of these goofballs I drafted. Yeah, for sure. All right. So for next week's Ekeler's Edge, we are, of course, heading into NFL kickoff weekend. As exciting as week one is, Austin, there is always big overreactions to the first weekend of football. We want to know from you, what is your biggest, most embarrassing, most regrettable fantasy overreaction you had after week one that still haunts you to this day? We want to know what your worst overreaction is. I think sharing some of those, it's going to be, one, cathartic, and we can all laugh about the past. That's great. But also, it's a good reminder that patience is necessary in fantasy football in September, especially. And I'll share one of mine. Maybe we can relive the panic about Austin Ekeler after the first 3 weeks of last season. That could be a fun one, but I'll share one of my fantasy overreactions. We want you all to do the same. Ask Austin at yahoosports.com. Mailbag is open. Send in a voicemail if you have a good one. Those get bumped to the front of the line. Just send in a good story. We want to hear from you. It's going to be great stuff.
Yeah, I remember we had Rainn Wilson on the show one time. He said he traded me away. I think it was 2 years ago. And I think it was like RB2 that year. And so just like, and then last year, Austin hasn't scored a touchdown in the first three games. And then, made a roaring comeback there. So, hey, you look, I'm not saying you can't trade away guys, but I'm just saying if guys have been consistent in the past and maybe don't have the hottest start, I think you owe it to them. Like, come on, like give them a little bit of time. Don't be jumping the gun too quick. But if you have, yeah, let me hear them. And if you traded me away, I want to hear who you traded me for and how it turned out.
Yes, that is always good. And there's always some like random receiver that catches 2 touchdowns or something in week one and then, never does anything the rest of the year and people blow like all of their free agent budget on any of those type of week one overreactions. We want to hear about it. I know I have had my fair share of like, you ranked this guy here and then he didn't do anything in week one. It's like, this is a long season, man. Okay. So we're all just trying to be in the prediction business. That's all it is. But all right, Austin, that's going to do it for us today. Hell of a show. I mean, just unbelievable stuff, except the draft grades, the C- draft grade. We can get past that. But otherwise, I think it was a great show.
I agree, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad we're getting out of the preseason, though. It was good getting into it, kind of building up this hype, but it's go time now. Like I said, now that preseason's over, Austin, it's time to strap him up. And guess what? It's time for some real football. Now it counts. And I hope you guys are excited as well. It's about to be an epic season. I feel like there's just a lot of solid teams. And maybe it's like this every year, but I'm just like going into this year, I'm just like, there's so many good players that I'm excited to watch and go compete against. So I know I'm excited. And like I said, I hope you guys are too.
I'm excited. I know the people are excited. It is go time. And on that note, there's only 9 days until the start of fantasy season. Make sure you get your league started or join a public league at yahoofantasyfootball.com. Also, there's never been a better, or as you said, because there's all these great teams, or more overwhelming time to be a sports fan. Luckily, Kendall Baker has you covered with Yahoo Sports AM, our daily new newsletter that we promise will quiet the noise and deliver everything you need as a sports fan to start your day in a simple, digestible format. It just started August 28th, so sign up at yahoosports.com/sign up. Tomorrow, we continue Cram Week on the pod with Dalton Del Don joining us. It's nice that he's finally recovered from the Trey Lance news. He's going to power through. It's going to be great. We hit on all the important things. If you've been if you're that person that's been sitting on the beach, drinking beer, not thinking about the NFL for the last, God, however many months, you haven't thought about the NFL since the Super Bowl. Number one, shout out to you. That's great. Sounds awesome. Well, we haven't. Dalton and I, that's all we've thought about is football. So we're going to give you all the things you may have missed this offseason that you need to know heading into week one. Until then, we're out.